Awesome. Thank you. If it'll. No, it won't let me reshare my screen. No. All right. While I figure out the resharing screen piece of this, we will get started. Why it's really important that we record is, there we go, is that while we're super grateful for everybody who's here in person, we know Friday afternoon is a tough ask. And we know we have lots of potential members who want to learn more about what membership means and where Running USA is going. So this is going to live on our website, in our newsletter, and in the communications we do in the coming days as we push out our new membership model. So I'm going to kick it off. I know we only have a couple folks on the call, but for those of you watching later and those on the call, my name is Jay Holder. I'm the executive director of Running USA. And one of the reasons that we wanted to have this call is we wanted to educate new and potential members on who Running USA is and what our role, or how we see our role in the greater running industry. So if you were at our running industry conference in February in Louisville, you will see a little bit of an abbreviated version of the strategic plan summary that I gave there. And then you'll also learn about our new membership tiers, which launch on April 1st. Our membership and sponsorship director, Nancy Brandon, will talk about that. But we haven't changed membership in almost a decade. And our goal is to change membership for a couple of reasons. One, to expand the reach that we have within the running industry and to ensure that we're able to reach people who engage with events and event operations at all different levels, whether they're large companies with a ton of resources or small one-person operations that need the networking assistance and need some of the services that we provide. So you'll see changes. If you're familiar with our current membership structure, you'll see changes on both sides. You'll see some models that are meant to be affordable and accessible to smaller businesses, and you'll see some models that are meant for some of the large industry leaders that we all know and are familiar with. Before I dive into our strategic plan, I think it's really important to meet our team. Our team is one of the things that I love about Running USA is that we are small, and that means that we are a personal operation. This is not meant to be that big trade organization that has a name but no face. We pride ourselves in being able to interact with our members, and we know all of our members. So we want you to know us. So I introduce myself. I'll give a little bit more background. Again, my name is Jay. I came to Running USA in November of 2023, following 9 years as the vice president of marketing and communications at Atlanta Track Club. Prior to that, I worked in television news for more than a decade. My background is in journalism. I was a Division III runner, not very good, and I continue to be a middle of the road runner who loves to run marathons. I just ran the LA Marathon on Sunday, and I'm still recovering from that. But I love everything about this industry. I love the way that running brings people together and creates community in a way that few other things do. And it's great to be a part of it and have a front row seat to the awesome work that organizations from New York to California are doing. So I'll kick it over to Nancy, who's next on my screen, to make an introduction.
Hello, I'm Nancy Brandon, and I'm the director of sponsorship and membership over here at Running USA. My background for the running portion of it is I'm a very casual runner. I think I say that I learned how to tie my shoes like 20 years ago, so I'm late to the game. But I worked at the Army 10 Miler for 9 years, so I know the ins and outs of putting on a large event. My background mainly is in marketing and communications, and I've held a variety of different positions from, different fields and different industries, which I use to bring into the customer service aspect of this particular job. So I will be talking later and helping you through the membership levels, and I will pass it off now to Michael.
Hello, everybody. Michael Clemens, use he, him pronouns. I am based out of Louisville, Kentucky, where we had our last conference. Actually, right now, though, I am in sunny and cold Chicago, Illinois. For the past 13 years, I've worked in the event operations, the running event operations industry. I'm up here helping manage the finish line of the Bank of America Shamrock Shuffle for the Chicago event management team, and was actually out in LA with Jay working the finish line for the McCourt Foundation. And I'm gonna brag on him a little bit. He ran a very solid 251 there. So as a middle of the road runner, I'd say that's pretty quality right there for him. I have been in this role as the director of operations for Running USA for about a year and a half. Am also finishing my PhD at the University of Louisville. I am all but dissertation, so hopefully by the end of the calendar year will be Dr. Clemens. And with that, really am focused on education within the running industry and research. And I know that's something we'll speak about with our strategic plan, is really helping Running USA being the voice of the industry. And as many of you all know, a lot of times in the running industry, that's the way it's always been done mentality. And we at Running USA want to give some data behind that to make it make sense why we do what we do in our space. So along with the research and data and webinar education, I also manage our yearly industry conference, which will be in February at the Union Station Hotel in St. Louis. It is one of the coolest venues I've ever been in, and am already starting on the education piece of that, and I'm excited to share that with all of you all in the coming months and leading into February. And I'll turn it over to Leah.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. I hope you can see me okay as I'm on my phone taking this call. I have been with Running USA for 18 years now. I'm currently the Director of Marketing and Communications, but I've had a variety of roles with the organization over my time as a contractor. And I'm just really passionate about the sport of running. Recently have gone through a little bit of a challenge period in my own running, but I'm really excited to share that I have run every day for the last week. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into the sport and getting out racing again. I really love the half marathon distance. Like a lot of people, that's my favorite. My role here is really to educate and inform you about everything that we have going on. So we do send a lot of email, and apologies in advance because those are mostly coming from me. But we feel like it's really important for you to be aware of all of the educational opportunities, the conference opportunities, what's going on elsewhere in the industry. And then, of course, it's really important to us to share your news. So that's a big benefit of the membership that you can achieve at various levels, various volumes, and you'll be hearing more about that in the rest of this call. I'm easily accessible. You can find me via email or on LinkedIn or on our website, and happy to always answer any questions or consult with you about your needs for media and PR. So hit me up anytime, and thanks for being here.
Thanks, Leah, Michael, Nancy, and to everybody watching or here. We are, I'm going to go through what we do, but what we do is not defined by what's on this paper or what's in our membership platform. Because we are small, we are nimble, and we want to meet all of our members' needs. And if there's a need that we can help achieve that's not listed on a membership benefits list or not listed in a strategic plan, we are all ears and we want to do it. So we want to meet our members and provide the kind of services they need in the industry. And I'm going to talk about that a little more here in a few minutes. And just to give a geographic overview, I didn't say where I am. I'm in Annapolis, Maryland. Nancy is in Atlanta. Michael said he's in Louisville, and Leah is in Bend, Oregon. So we've got your time zones covered too, depending on where you are in the country. So again, strategic plan. I want to start with our mission and our vision. We're a new team, as you may have picked up from our introductions. Leah is the glue that has held this organization together for a very long time, for 18 years. And without her, we could not move forward. But Michael, Nancy, and I have all been here under 18 months, and our board is a relatively new board of directors. To give a little bit of background on our governance, we are governed by a 13-person board of directors that is made up of people throughout the running industry, from large events, from small events, from vendors, to governing bodies. So we have a very wide representation of voices in the running industry on our board of directors. Terms are 3 years, and elections will be moved just starting this year to the end of the calendar years when we hold elections, and you'll get more information about that when we start that process. But the first thing we wanted to do when we explored a new strategic plan, this new staff and this new board, was to examine our mission and our vision. We're not changing who we are, who we always have been, if for those of you who know this organization or familiar with this organization, but we do feel like that our new mission that you can see here on the screen and our new vision better explain what it is that we do and what we set out to accomplish. So as of our conference in February, our mission shown to the public for the first time at our conference is to engage, educate, and elevate the running industry and its constituents. And our vision is an inclusive and unified running industry. So what does that mean? If I can get this button move forward, I will tell you. There we go. There it is. I think I went forward too many boxes. There we go. There we go. So what does that mean? We took the 3 big words in there: engage, elevate, and educate. And that's the 3 missions that our strategic plan are broken into. To engage, Running USA is looking to reach a wider geographic audience. We're doing that with partnerships like the Running Industry Alliance. So we are partners with the Running Industry Alliance, which is essentially the UK version of what we do. And because of that, we have reciprocal member benefits. So if there's something they're doing that would be beneficial to you, or something that we're doing that would be beneficial to their members, we share those benefits with each other's members. As a result, we understand a bigger picture of what's happening in the running industry, not just here in the US, but what the trends are in the UK. And that helps us make decisions accordingly. It also allows the news that we're doing, the things that we're doing over here, to reach a wider audience. One of our big goals, as Leah said, is to amplify the good practices and the good stories that are coming out of all of our members, large and small, and having these partnerships like Running Industry Alliance, European Athletics, Mass Participation World, all global organizations, helps extend who is hearing those stories. We want to facilitate an ongoing conversation among members, and what we're doing right now is part of that. You're going to see this happening in our LinkedIn groups. You're going to see it happening on Zoom calls throughout the year. At conference this year, one of our most successful sessions is that we held 90-minute roundtables for different organizational groups within the running industry, large organizations, marketing, communications, business development. And that's can't just happen at conference, because we understood very clearly when we were having those conversations at conference that need is something that people need a year round, to bounce ideas off each other, to understand how people are navigating certain challenges within the running space. And for a long time, the onus was on event organizers and event professionals to drive those conversations and to move those conversations forward. I think we understand that event professionals are busy. You're generally short-staffed. You have one race or event this weekend and another one next weekend. You don't have time to get everybody together and let's talk about how to better recruit volunteers, or let's talk about how TikTok is impacting our marketing. That's our job, to facilitate those conversations. And we've started to do so, and we're going to continue to do so. And then we're going to expand our Emerging Leaders program. So for those who were not at conference, we bring 6 to 10 individuals that are leading unique groups of voices, unique programs in the running space across the country. We bring them to conference, not only to meet and network with people in the running industry that can help expand with the work that they're doing, but also to educate people in the running industry about the work that they're doing and how it is the future of the work that we're all doing. So we introduced our 8 emerging leaders at our conference this year. Our goal next year is to do 10, 12 the following year, and 14 the year after that. Our goal is for that to have a sponsor that pays for the cost of our emerging leaders to come to conference, their travel and their hotel. And right now, that's sort of that's how we're basing those numbers. And as we can continue to grow and find new sponsorship opportunities, we can grow that program. When it comes to education, we have access to experts on everything in the industry. We know that our membership makes up all the voices that make the industry great. We also want to go outside the industry to offer expert level certification that is relevant to people who work in the running event space. So you're going to see that in a new AED certification program that we've rolled out. We did one in Atlanta last year, and we'll do more this year, working with CPR and AED instructors to teach people how to use that life-saving, those life-saving skills in the event of a race. You're also going to find on our website a growing library of how-to toolkits and best practice documents gathered from experts across the industry. So experts who are listening to me right now, expect a call from us as we continue to build that out. And Michael touched on this a little bit. We're going to continue to be the leader in data, research, and trends, working with our members and partners to tell the story of what is happening in the industry, and then leading the conversation about how to interpret it and how to respond to it. So last year we did a number of reports on participation and how it's grown year to year. This year you can look for new reports on demographics. You can look for surveys from race directors. You can look for our global runner survey that we're working on right now, and I'm going to talk about in just a few seconds. And then I talked about this a little bit when I talked about our first in our last bullet point about engagement. The Running Industry Conference is the biggest thing we do. And for those of you not familiar with it, it's anywhere from 600 to 700 event professionals gathered over 3 days to talk about their learnings, about topics that are relevant to the industry right now, about the challenges we're facing, to network, to exchange stories. This is a great opportunity to have a conversation about the shared work that we're all doing, but it can't just be 3 days. Running USA exists for 365 days, and facilitating that conversation is a year-round job for us. And we want the Running Industry Conference to be the part of that conversation. It can be the beginning, it can be the middle, but it can never be the end of that conversation that we're having throughout the industry. And the final E word is elevation. We are launching this is why we're talking today. We're launching a reimagined membership model with new tiers, price structures, and benefits that Nancy is going to talk about in just a few moments. We're going to establish opportunities for members to share stories, offers, and the opportunities that they have. So we have launched a 5-question series, which is an in-depth interview series with our members. We have a new member marketplace, which I hope everybody takes advantage of. It is all members have access to both put offers in the member marketplace and to take advantage of offers in the member marketplace. And there's going to be several other content pieces you'll see that are really focused on elevating our members. I'm going to try to mute some folks here, just because there we go. And we see ourselves as the nation's leading voice and leading expert voice in the road running event space. So we, whether it comes to talking to media or offering takes on different trends that are going on, that we see that as our role, and we'll continue to do that. So these are the membership tiers that I'm going to let Nancy talk about in just a few moments. Some new benefits that she'll talk about equal our professional services, AED rentals, personalized workshops and info sessions, and our free Global Runner Survey. The Global Runner Survey is out right now, and the results of that, which have historically been a paid-for service, will now be free to all members. Started last year, and we're continuing that this year. So I'm going to swap out the screens. I want to be mindful of everybody's time here. I'm going to swap out the screens here so Nancy can talk about our new membership tiers. Nancy, I'll do that while you're doing an introduction. Take me just a second to pull it up.
Okay, well, thanks. So those of you who have been members or are currently members understand that there have been 4 different levels of memberships that we've had in the past, and that's going to change, and we are now going to move forward with 6 levels. So like Jay had mentioned, we're going to be covering some lower individual type of memberships all the way up to the white glove, large companies, offering a whole host of different benefits at each level. So throughout, I'm sure you'll find something that's going to hit on you and the member benefits that you're looking for moving forward. Jay had mentioned some HR and some other services. That's something that's really taken off already that we introduced at the conference. And we have some HR services, some PR, press release writing services. We've always had the distribution side. Now we're going to have the writing side and some advertising and social posts writing as well. So looking at this, starting kind of at the bottom here, we have the bronze, silver, and gold. These are going to be the introductory or the 3 of the lowest levels, and the bronze level is new. So that if you look at silver, that would correspond to currently what we have as the individual event. The gold would be the standard event or multi-event or vendor level. So you'll notice as you look at this, I know it's kind of small, so we'll make sure you get the link so that you can take a look at this. Thank you. As you look at this, you'll see that a lot of the benefits that have to do with the content, the library, the membership, the networking, are available to everyone for free. So looking at, excuse me, the 5 questions and all the things where you can do your branding and get in front of other members and do the connections and meet the other members. That's part of who we are and what we feel, is the customer is the #1 priority here. But then we've added some new things. We've always had a discount for the conference and for expo booths, but in this new model, it's going to be a little bit different. So starting at the top, with a bronze level, you'll see you get 1 member account. And what this means is that one person will have access to the membership. So getting into the back end where the content, the membership library. So if you're an individual, this is a great level for you, 1-person company. Moving into the silver, you'll see that there's 2 memberships available. And then the gold is 3. And then as we move up, you'll see that the numbers get higher until they become unlimited. So moving from the smaller company all the way up to the legend, you'll see it's unlimited. So if you're a large event organizer and you want everyone on your team to have access to everything that's available, you would probably lean towards this direction. So as you review this and look at this, don't just look at what the membership annual fee is, and these are based on 12 months, but also look at how many people you're bringing to conference and what the difference of the discounts are, or if you're getting a booth or not. Because when you factor in all of these different things, you'll notice that it may be more advantageous for you to jump up to the next level, even if some of the things are things you may not use. Just because the discounts and the booths and everything else are available. We found that some of the top things that we offer right now are the job postings and the press release distributions. So again, these are, so take advantage of these. So make sure that when you're looking at these, that you take advantage of everything that we have to offer. So if we go back to looking at the bronze and moving into this, you'll see that it's $247. That's for 12 months. And I'm not going to go into everything that it offers for you. There's a lot of information on here. But this again would be 1 person that would be using the account. Let's see if we move up into the higher levels. You'll see at the champion level, which is similar to our contributing level right now, we have 5 member accounts. And then the elite level, which is comparable to currently the foundation level. And then the legend, the $10,000 level, which is unlimited. So you'll get everything that we have to offer, plus a few little bonuses for some VIP type of things as well. Let's see, is there any specific benefit that people are looking for or is there anyone on the call? Does anyone have any questions about a benefit or about a level coming in? No? Okay.
I'd like to speak a little bit to the professional services, if that's all right, Nancy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that we launched this year because we saw a real need in the industry for it were services that larger organizations might have the opportunity to bring in a full-time employee for, but smaller organizations don't have, the finances to do it, nor do they have the need to have someone full-time doing these roles. So the 2 that we've launched, and this is the beginning of hopefully several more that we can offer, are human resources and public relations, because we do have those staff on hand. So we have partnered with a human resources expert who works in the running industry specifically for access to a special member rate for her hours. And that can be everything from performance reviews to employee handbooks, to job postings, to recruitment, to vetting. I can speak to her services because that's who Running USA uses for all of the things I just said. So she is available to all members. As you go up in tier, there are some membership rates that have complimentary hours along with their annual membership fee. But even at the member rate, it is we researched what the market was for hiring an HR agency prior to coming up with this, and we wanted to make sure that we were offering a price that was lower than that. So we have a special member rate for HR hours, and the consultancy fee is free. So if you're somebody who's looking to potentially bring in HR services, you want to know what that might entail. The first conversation with our HR professional is complimentary, part of your membership. And then as you look to do projects with her, that's when we do the hourly rate. But again, looking to make sure that that's below what you could get if you Googled HR agency in your area. The other piece is PR services. I mentioned that I have a journalism background. Leah on our call does as well. And one of the services that we feel uniquely equipped to offer is the writing and planning of press releases. This is another thing that often, especially small shops, don't have someone in-house to do, and you could go out and hire an agency, but the cost for that is often very prohibitive. And generally, if you just want a press release written, an agency is not really interested in that kind of business. So we're offering that service now to all of our members, and with the exception of the bronze rate, where there's a small fee, there's a number of complimentary press release writing done by our team for you and in conjunction with you. So you give us, how you want it, what you want in there, some of the bullet points, we review it with you, and then we help you plan on how to distribute it. So those are the two services we're offering in year one. We are looking to bookkeeping and other type of services in subsequent years, but really wanted to roll this out. And as I've talked to members, and I've talked to our HR provider, this has been one of the biggest new benefits that we've had. I know we have almost a dozen people already talking to our HR services person, so there certainly is a need for this in the industry. So those are two really big things that I'm in particular am excited about Running USA being able to do. Nancy, anything else you wanted to hit on here?
Yeah, a couple other things that we want to call out. Like Jay mentioned, we want this to be year-round conversation. So we've set up some members-only LinkedIn groups, which you all will have access to take part in, bring up any conversations you want to have, meet other people that are in the groups. We're also going to be starting quarterly calls, so we're not exactly sure how this is going to be run yet. We haven't done it, but we have some ideas on, again, bringing new members in, so that they meet existing members and other new members, and what conversations take place is that that's going to start up shortly, I believe. And then we also do industry meetups. So those again are other opportunities outside of conference that you can meet with others, which is again a big part of what we're trying to do at the organization, is make sure that the networking and the conversations keep going. And then one of the other, I guess, last things I wanted to mention is also we're going to have an onboarding and orientation session. So this is something we haven't done in the past. So when you join, we'll take you through your account, how to use it, how to get around. The membership directory is a big draw, so where it is on your site, any other questions that you would have about troubleshooting your site or moving through to find the information, that's all available to you.
So that's the very quick version, Friday afternoon version of our new member model. There is a lot in here. We will send this PDF out to everybody on the call, and it's also available for anybody watching later. We'll link to it in the bottom of the YouTube video. But if there's any other questions before we leave, feel free to raise a hand. And if not, Nancy, Michael, Leah, and I are always available. As I said, we're a small shop, and so we can always respond to emails and concerns very quickly. But I'll pause for just a quick second to make sure there's not any other questions before we. Virginia, go ahead.
Yeah, just mechanics housekeeping. So April 1st is when we can access these levels, and will there be an email or something, or?
Yeah, absolutely. And Leah, I can let you speak to that a little more, but we will be sending out, so we've started sending out communications about the new member model, but April 1, there will be an email that says they are available. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
How many members are in the organization? I have that question in the in the chat there. Well, this is actually one of the reasons that we're changing our model to have people associated with memberships. We know we have about 300 event organizers, vendors, and people and brands as members of the organization. What we don't know is how many people are attached to those memberships, because if I'm going to use Atlanta, my old employer, Atlanta Track Club. If Atlanta Track Club joins, that's one member. Now they may have with our new model, they may have an elite level member or champion level membership, and they have 5 people, but I'm not counting all 5 people. So we want to be able to really know how many individuals are involved as well as organizations. But right now we have about 300 organizations and or businesses involved in the organization in Running USA. All right, I think that's all. I do want to thank everybody again for their time, for their interest. Open door policy for us to answer questions. I hope to see everyone as a member of Running USA. We're going to do some really cool things. I like to say this coming year, because our fiscal year, actually, a fun thing about us as a nonprofit, our fiscal year runs April 1 to March 31st. So April 1 is next year to me. So if I keep saying next year, that's what I mean. But we're really excited to bring new people into the conversation, and to grow with everyone, and hope to see you in person, potentially in Boston, potentially at St. Louis next year. But again, if there are any questions, let us know, and I hope everybody has a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.